But we're just out here testing the camera. I had a bit of an issue with the camera, the Drift Ghost, HD Ghost. It was starting to freeze up on me and becoming unresponsive. And so I figured, well, maybe the card, you know, is getting screwed and needing a format. So I did a full format on the card, plugged the camera into the computer, and then used the Windows full format function in Windows Explorer. And that's a lengthy process. Takes about, I don't know, I forget now, about an hour to format that little 32 gigabyte micro SD card, but that often helps when you get problems. So maybe bear that in mind if your camera ever freezes up on you and starts to act odd. Anyway, after formatting the card, then of course I have to upload the firmware again for the camera to the root of the card. So I tested it once after that, and it was okay. Actually, I tested it twice. So this is the third test. I just want to make sure that I'm not going to be surprised someday. I did email Drift, and they created a support ticket, then got back to me. And pretty much their advice was to do what I've already done. However, their procedure was a little bit more lengthy, and it involved disconnecting the battery after formatting the card. But what I did was essentially the same. So hopefully that'll be good. You come to depend on these helmet cams, so they gotta be reliable, right? I know I hear a lot of people saying, well, you know, their GoPro keeps freezing up or whatever. I don't hear about it too much on the Drift, but I hear about it a lot on the GoPro. So maybe that might be a good idea if you do have those problems. And I think it's best not to use the in-camera format function. You know, that's a very quick format that takes a second or two. You know, use the full format function in Windows by plugging the camera in and then going into your files, or not your files, but your drives, and open up the drive for the card, or right click it, and then scroll down, and in the dialog box, and you'll see format. You'll also see full format. Just click the full format function. I think the actual full instructions from Drift, and it might apply to other cameras as well, because it seemed to make sense, was after formatting the card using a good quality formatting program, and then disconnecting the battery to reset the camera, and then using reinstalling the firmware, the latest firmware, and making sure the battery is 100% charged. Then remove your card, the micro SD card, and run the camera on record, just using the built-in function until it stops, or the battery runs out or whatever, and then charge battery up again, put the card back in, and run it on record again, recording to the card until the battery runs out, and it stops, noting if it freezes up in either of these modes, and then that probably tells you something about whether it's the card or whether it's the internals of the camera causing the freeze, if it's still a problem after you have formatted the card. So that kind of makes sense.